Good morning and welcome to the South Point Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we get you ready for the first of 6 on day 3 of 4. It's the longest day. A triple header on the women's side, followed by a triple header on the men's side, as it's back-to-back basketball games here. We've had 7 in a row in prior years. This one's a piker by comparison, but it starts with an early morning matchup between the University of Verne Leopards and the DeSales University Bulldogs. DeSales came in here yesterday, got a victory over Millsaps University. DeSales' second appearance in the D3 Hoops Classic, now 2-1. University of Verne's men's team has been here before, but the first appearance on the women's side and the first game of 2 for Coach Julie Shaw. And the Leopards, who made a rather short trip for them. They have the shortest trip of all the teams here, about 4 hours from the Los Angeles area, Laverne, California, to be exact, over the mountains and into Nevada for Las Vegas. And Pat, first of 6, and the Skyac teams, they're kind of an annual tradition here. We see just about one of them every year. And it's Laverne this year.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of them, especially on the men's side. But it's been a great destination for women's basketball teams coming out here. So we're very happy. As you said, it's a short trip. It's a good way to pick up some games against non-West Coast teams. And
right.
Like Dave, like you guys were talking about with George Fox and the Northwest Conference teams, similarly for the Skyac teams, it's hard for them to find non-conference games against D3 opponents because there just aren't a lot in the area.
Right. Well, we only get the national anthem once, and it is in front of the first game, so we'll get you that. We are aware of the video issues. Bear with us. We'll get those for you. We'll give you a radio call in the interim. But
good way to start the day.
Yeah. University of Laverne coming into today's game. They are 2-5, but it's a hard to read 2-5 because they're 1-1 against Division III. They have a win over Puget Sound, which is pretty good, and they have a loss to Pacific. But all the other games are against non-Division III opponents, including their last one, a 89-41 walkover loss at D1 UC Santa Barbara. As the Leopards come out in their forest green, orange, and white. They start with number 34. That's the junior forward from Maryville, Tennessee, Noel Cobb. Joined in the backcourt by the 6-foot senior from Vancouver, Washington, the center, Emily Myers. You have in the front court the 5'8 senior guard from Dublin, California, Shannon Irwin. She's joined by the 5'3 junior guard from Anaheim Hills, California, Erica Pagkalanawan, and the 5'6 junior guard from Saugus, California, that is Faye Osborne. The Leopards are coached by Julie Shaw. She is in her 3rd season with the Leopards, a record of 25-32. Not unfamiliar with the Skyac. Shaw did some grad assistant work at the University of Redlands, but she's primarily a D1 coach. Assistant at Gonzaga, assistant at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and played her college ball for UC Riverside. Starting 5 for the DeSales Bulldogs, same as yesterday, 5'7 freshman guard who had a career high in scoring yesterday, Morgan Bermlin in the backcourt, joined by the 5'4 junior guard from Westchester, Pennsylvania, number 11, Nikki Callahan. Front court starts with the 6'1 junior center from Bangor, Pennsylvania, Morgan McCallion. She's joined in the front court, small forward senior from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, 5'9", number 24, Jen Napolitano, and the 5'7" junior guard from Columbia, New Jersey, number 40, Megan Baird. Bulldogs coached by Fred Richter in his 26th season out of East Stroudsburg University up in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania.
And generally, Gordon, we'd probably expect DeSales to come out strong. They've got a game underneath their belts.
Yep.
They're playing at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Laverne, they haven't had a particularly long layoff. They played back on December 20th, so it's not like they've had 2 weeks off between games. But it's also 10 a.m. for them. It's their first game here as opposed to their second. So sometimes that translates into a bit of a slower start.
4-hour drive. I hope they made the drive yesterday and not very early this morning.
Oh, here's hoping.
Yeah, so as DeSales wins the tip, again, we're, as you can see on the screen, aware of the video issues, and we will get those straightened out as soon as we can. Bulldogs with the opening tip pass, quick down low to Morgan McCullion with the jumper up and good. So McCullion, who didn't score her first points until the last second of the first half yesterday, with a quick 2 here, and DeSales leads 2-0.
Yeah, I might have a better height advantage here this morning to deal with.
Driving in, this is Shannon Irwin, jumper up after the delivery to Noelle Cobb, and Cobb hits the mid-range jumper, and we're tied at 2.
Look good, nice shot selection, nice way to get Laverne on their feet here in the early going.
Callahan switches over from Morgan Bermlin, who had that Megan Baird, now Bermlin, who had the really good game yesterday. She was very aggressive early, takes a shot here, jumper's no good. Rebound battling and controlled by the Tennessean Noelle Cobb. She's the farthest away on the roster for Laverne, and that jumper is up and good. And Noelle Cobb has found the range here. She's got 4, and the Leopards lead 4-2.
I'm sure Coach Shaw likes to see Laverne's come out with a bit of energy here. They're definitely here to play. I hate cliches. That was awful.
Morgan McCullion on the block, spins to the rim for 2, so it's Noelle Cobb 4 and Morgan McCullion 4. The teams with the same points there as it's 8:32 opening minutes here of the first quarter. Faye Osborne. The Leopards, not a lot of size. Their tallest player is Emily Myers. She's 6 foot. They got a lot of players under 5'6". 7 on the shot clock. Pull up for Irwin is no good, and Callahan will track down the rebound for DeSales.
Not an awful looking shot, but with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, you don't have a lot of choices.
Megan Baird, who likes threes, takes one here, no good. And Pat Kalanawan tears away the rebound from Morgan McCullion. Leopards back the other way. Baseline jumper, no good. Callahan rebound. 4 points apiece. DeSales with the ball, 7:48 to play in the first quarter. Callahan will now settle the Bulldogs into their half-court offense. McCullion in the block over the top of the much shorter Chan, and then follows it up for 2. So Morgan McCullion, 6 points in the first 7:31, or in the first 7:31, first 2.5 minutes here, and the Bulldogs lead 6-4.
Yeah, Laverne is going to have a really tough time D'ing her up. They just don't have anybody who can match.
Jumper from just straddling the three-point line by Emily Myers, no good. Nikki Callahan with yet another defensive rebound. Quickly back to McCullion in the post. Storms over the top of the undersized Emily Myers. And McCullion is fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, McCullion's listed at 6'1". Myers is listed at 6'0". And when the video comes back up, you'll see that that matchup is not as close as the roster would make it seem.
So McCullion out of Bangor, Pennsylvania, right on the eastern border of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The DeSales Bulldogs are from what's basically Allentown. It's Center Valley, technically, but it's about an hour north of Philadelphia in the southeast corner of the Keystone State. And McCullion hits 1 of 2. She's got 7 points early, and it's 7-4 DeSales.
And she's going to go to the bench, so here's an opportunity for Laverne to try to get a couple of defensive stops if they can hang on to the basketball.
Callahan with the steal off the inbounds pass. Nicole Unbenhauer will go to the rim, and Unbenhauer takes McCullion's place, does exactly that. She's got 2 points, and DeSales leads 9-4.
Yeah, that press really caught Laverne by surprise, and the ball didn't get more than 10 feet inbounds before it was stolen.
Laverne, as driving in and looking for some help, is Faye Osborne. Now Irwin will pull it back to the left wing, 10 on the shot clock. And Irwin running down the clock here, looking for something. Osborne will try and create off the dribble in the lane, 3 seconds to play to shoot, and he does. Rolls it home. Osborne's first 2 points. Cuts the Bulldogs' lead from 9 to 6.
Leopards are certainly trying to find a way to get inside the paint, or at least to get a decent shot off inside the arc, but they're having some trouble.
Callahan shot off balance and hits nothing. Irwin with the defensive rebound. Laverne quickly down the floor the other way. Leopards rotated around. Looking into the post. Open look. Shot's no good for Emily Myers, but she's fouled from behind, and the senior from Washington will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, here's where the struggle is for Laverne this season. I mean, as you mentioned, Gordon, earlier on, they're 2-5, but they're just 1-1 versus D3. So the books may be out on them a little bit as the first one goes around and off. But they don't shoot particularly well from the floor. They really don't shoot well from 3-point range. They've even struggled from the foul line a little bit. But it's hard to tell how much of that is based on their opponents. What are you expected to do against UC Santa Barbara?
Right. Yeah. I'm sure much bigger bodies than they have either on their roster or they're going to see in the SCIAC, which has a lot of. I think the average height in the SCIAC is lower than it is in every other conference. Drive in, Unbenhauer shot off the mark, no good. Emily Myers with the rebound. She missed both free throws, so we're still at 9-6. Myers passed behind her, taken away by Megan Baird. Here come the Bulldogs the other way, 3-on-2. Bermlin tracks it down and lays it up and in. Nice job by Bermlin to make the adjustment. First 2 for Morgan. And it's 11-6. DeSales on top with 5:23 to play.
See, the problem is if you're Laverne, if you let DeSales beat you down the floor, they're going to, first of all, they're down there ahead of you, and secondly, as a shot, they answer with a nice three-pointer. But you have that problem, and then you also have the problem that in the half-court set, they're going to beat you down too because of their size.
Faye Osborne now 5 of 11 on the season from 3. She hits that one, and oof. Big collision there right in front of Anthony Lewis, one of the officials, and a foul on the Leopards. A couple of substitutions, Jen Napolitano and Megan Baird check out. In for the game for DeSales, Kelly Anthony, a 5'8" senior forward from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Bulldogs maintain the basketball. Also, Caitlin Kelly checks in for DeSales. Bulldogs up 11-9, air ball out of the hands of Bermlin. And here comes Pat Kalanawan back the other way. 3, near sideline, front rim, and no good for Brianna Bishop, who's checked in. But the offensive rebound for Noelle Cobb keeps it in control of the Leopards.
Bishop had a good look. She had plenty of time to get her feet set. She just left it short.
Shannon Irwin trying to probe the defense to the left side. And we are back with pictures. Very much to the folks here at the South Point Arena. Pat Kalanawan is Irwin from the baseline. Got it. And we are tied at 11. 4 points now for Shannon Irwin. 4:08 to play first quarter.
Yep, so that's Laverne in the green. It's DeSales in the whites. DeSales attacking the basket to our right here in the first half. Glad you can finally see what we've been talking about. And you were talking about key substitutions, Gordon. Another key substitution is coaxial cable.
Yeah.
coming down from the camera up top.
Offensive foul call to Morgan Bermlin, who's clearly trying to be very aggressive. If you joined us yesterday, you know the Bulldogs are without 2 of the guards in their rotation. Starting guard Leandra Sterner is in street clothes again. She missed all but 4 games last year. She looked really, really good in those 4 games as Callahan pokes it away. And Emily Kirsnowski, who would also be part of that guard rotation, she's their same year academically. Sterner has a full year athletically. Kirsnowski is also injured. She's from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, just south of where DeSales is. So Bermlin and Callahan have to play a lot of minutes, and Bermlin trying to pick up the slack offensively. Laverne looking for their first lead. They break the press. Driving look here for Diane Pena. Off the rim, no good. 11 points apiece as Kelly will ease into a 3 and connect. First 3 of the game for Kelly. First 3 off the bench for Coach Richter, and the Bulldogs lead 14-11. Irwin. And finds Diane Pena for 2. Good look from Irwin. Leopards get some bench scoring.
Yeah, I mean the Leopards are finding some things that are working for them, right? We with DeSales with the height advantage and not a particular deficit in speed, having a game under their belts here. We thought that perhaps that would be an issue for Laverne, but it hasn't been so far.
Coach Shaw in front of the bench, acting as an unofficial 6th defender there. You see her; she's the tall lady in the black, skittering around on the sidelines, shouting, is trying to distract the DeSales ball handler, and it works enough to force DeSales into taking a timeout here with 2:49 to play in the first quarter.
In the early going, just looking at the way things are shaking out, DeSales 6 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 3 from downtown. Similar numbers for Laverne, 6 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 3 from downtown. You would think that eventually the rebounding would favor the taller team, but it hasn't so far. DeSales and Laverne with 6 rebounds apiece, and really, Gordon, that's a reason why why Laverne is battling in this game right now. Also, remember McHugh scored 7 quick points and then went to the bench for a breather. They haven't brought her back in, and Laverne is hanging right there.
Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. Morgan Bermlin out of the timeout. Attacks the rim. Shot is short. Emily Myers finding things much better with Morgan McCullion on the bench. She gets yet another rebound. Back Kalinawan. Myers a good head fake. And a nice touch there as Myers gives the Leopards their first lead of the morning. McCullion right into the unofficial trap with Julie Shaw there. Bermlin. Umdenhauer drives 4 defenders, so somebody's got to be open. It's Kelly for 3. Second of the game for Caitlin Kelly. DeSales back in front.
Nice looking shot for Kelly. A little over 30% from downtown on the season, makes her second best on the season.
Scoreboard shows 16-15. I think it's 17-15, and I think it's 17-17.
Now the live stats would agree it's 17.
So Laverne shooting well to start the game. 17 apiece. Driving in. Angela Bertola shot off the glass, or off the side of the glass, actually, and tipped out of bounds by the Leopards. And here comes, 2 players who couldn't be more opposite in size. Morgan McCullion, 6'1", and, Bailey Kirahashi, 5 foot. Yes.
Listed at 5
foot.
Yep.
And, she might be 5 foot. She's pretty, at that point, I'm not sure it makes a difference whether you cheat an inch or not on the roster size.
Fair enough.
I just want to see who she matches up with defensively. Drive in, shot. That's a mismatch. There's the 2 players standing next to each other. And Kirahashi can only look on as she lays it up for 2.
Well, but in all honesty, smart to do so rather than...
don't foul her.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick you up with the ball and put you through. Foul on the... That might be the smallest Division III basketball player. I've seen one listed as 4'11", but I don't remember her actually playing.
Saul Ross had a player years and years ago, but I did not see them personally with a 4'11", when they had a 4'11" player.
It was WashU had a 4'11" kid who did not play several years ago. 3 on the way by Kelly, no good. Emily Myers, significantly taller with the rebound. And here comes Kirahashi back the other way. Kirahashi from Torrance, California, 3 points per game. Just score a little bit. And this is her right here. And she's the one who has the odd roster note, which we'll tell you about in a second. Shannon Irwin for 3, no good. Says she likes spaghetti, giraffes, and the Lakers. We assume not all together at the same time, though.
You could have spaghetti at a Lakers game.
While riding a giraffe.
Yeah,
the giraffe's the hard one to work in there.
Maybe you're riding a giraffe and watching the Lakers on TV.
Irwin rotates it around for Bishop. Myers out of the double team. Open look for Irwin. Got it. Good rotation there from Laverne. Myers, a real slick passer out of the post. We are tied at 19.
This has been a really good first period here for Laverne. They have an opportunity to go into the first break tied up, and they've put some points on the board.
Bermlin, floater. Can't find the touch. And rebound, and that is the way the first quarter comes to an end as Brianna Bishop hands it off to the officials. Early morning for Laverne, but they're early risers. They are tied with DeSales at 19 apiece. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the second quarter. Second quarter of action coming here. DeSales and Laverne tied at 19 as the Leopards shot 9 for 15 in that first quarter, 60%. DeSales shot pretty well too, 8 of 19, 42%.
Yeah, I mean, like I said right before we went to break, really impressive first period for Laverne. You know, coming out strong, hitting their shots, and they'll need to keep doing that because DeSales, as we've mentioned 5,000 or 6,000 times, right? They have the height advantage and all that sort of thing.
Bailey Kurahashi matched up with Katie Miller. Irwin. Over for Kurahashi, 11 on the shot clock. She's certainly fast. Gets the shot off and finds the roll. Bailey Kurahashi for 2. 21-19. 9:32 to play in the first quarter. Second lead of the game here for Laverne as McCullion collects it, an easy 2. He's got 9 points. And I don't know, did she miss in the first quarter? No, well, 4 or 5, so 5 of 6 now.
Yeah,
McCullion.
And she played just the first 5 minutes of the quarter, then sat the rest of the time. So she's been, she's rested, she's ready to go.
Kurahashi. Inside for Irwin. Good defense from Morgan Bermlin as the Leopards reset. Diane Pena draws a double and draws a foul. Either Kelly or, yep, going to be Caitlin Kelly who picks up her first personal. Checking in for the first time this morning for the Leopards, 5'7" junior guard out of Whittier, California, Carly Cato. Carly from the same town as one of Laverne's conference rivals, the Whittier Poets. Cato with the ball right here. Cato. Rotated around. So Cato and Kurahashi now the backcourt for the Leopards. Kurahashi somehow gets it off to Pena. And Pena will be tied up. Good defense there by the Bulldogs. Kelly Anthony, jump ball possession arrow in favor of DeSales.
And you see DeSales very active on defense there, Gordon. You know, Laverne likes to dribble the ball around, likes to pass the ball around, a lot of ball movement, but DeSales keeping right up with them.
Drive in. Looking for something. The Bulldogs hand it off to Bermlin. Bermlin hop step, shot no good right there for her own follow though, and Morgan Bermlin for 2.
Not a good job by Laverne. You got to box out, especially even if there's almost nobody there to box out, right? Bermlin was basically the only person who could have gotten that rebound for DeSales, and they didn't put a body on her. Still allowed to box out in basketball, right?
Yes,
okay.
I believe so.
Just checking.
Cato running left-hander, no good, and Morgan McCullion collects the rebound.
I wasn't sure I'd kept up on all the rules changes.
They haven't changed that one yet. Berlin wants to go down low, zips it and deflected off the hands of Diane Pena into the far corners of the South Point Arena, which also doubles as a equestrian venue.
Yeah, equestrian motocross concerts. This place seats far more than we would need for this event, but one of the nice things about it is it also kind of gets you accustomed to playing in larger venues too, which you might have to do if you want to advance in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Now the championship game is at the Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, so that is a long ways down the road for either team. But
yeah, that's the last game of the season. One last game of the season. Although great for women's basketball this season. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The way the men's basketball tournament did. That's now about 3 years ago, right? 2013, when they finished in Atlanta.
Morgan McCullion, but gets her own rebound and towering over the defense again. She is fouled. Let's see, I think they're going to get Cato. Nope, it's going to be on Noelle Cobb. Her second.
The national semifinals in women's basketball will take place on the day the championship game usually occurs, and that will be at Capital University in Columbus, Ohio. And then the two winners will meet in Indianapolis in conjunction with the D2 championship game on Sunday, which would be either last Sunday in March or first Sunday in April, assuming that the teams who advance to the championship game can play on Sunday, which is not a given in Division III.
Right, no. As the Leopards bring the ball down the floor, Diane Pena finds tough sledding against Morgan McCullion. Shot blocked it back into her face.
And someone's got to get the ball.
As she finds Cobb. Nice baseline screen there from Cato. Shot no good. Pena. Ball on the floor and possession arrow in favor of the Leopards. 7:02 to play here in the second quarter. DeSales with a 4-point lead. As Nikki Callahan will check in at the next dead ball for the Bulldogs. Kato. Dribbling the ball here for the Leopards. One of many kinesiology majors on the Leopards roster is a jump ball this time. Possession arrow goes to DeSales.
Yeah, it kind of looks like any practice is also a meeting of the kinesiology department.
Yeah. And some other majors that are closely aligned with that, I would think.
Athletic training,
movement, sports science.
Yep. Communications, broadcasting.
Yeah, the Madison Rubino, I noted that one. Has passed down low for McCullion, who is just having her way with the Leopards, 27-21. And McCullion, I think, 15 now.
Yeah, Gordon, we got 6 games today. Maybe we could get Rubino over here to call one of them.
Kato, rotating it around for Faye Osborne. Kato, excellent half-court defense here from the Bulldogs. Leopards down to 5 on the shot clock. Drive-in runner from Kirahashi will not roll home. And the Bulldogs collect. Callahan back the other way. See if they go right back to McCullion.
Well, it's at 7 points in quick succession in the first period, 8 points in quick succession here in the second, and almost 10.
Oh, good block from behind from Cobb, but McCullion racking up the offensive rebounds as well now.
Yeah, you can see her. She's a little winded. This is a tough pace of game for her.
Yeah, and Morgan's going to get a break. Nicole Unbenhauer returns. 27-21. As Unbenhauer looking for the inbounds pass. A little bit of a push in the back there, not called. Anthony to the rim, late shoots it up for 2. And the Bulldogs extend their lead to 29-21. Laverne with the basketball, looking for something out of the half court. And that pass from Osborne off target, looking for Diana Pena, senior from Baldwin Park, California.
Not a lot of unforced errors, though, for Laverne here in the early going. Think of they have turned the ball over 6 times now, but that's the first one I can remember that was just truly a mistake and thrown away. A lot of it has been good aggressive defensive play by DeSales.
Shannon Irwin returns for the Leopards. As the Bulldogs 3 early in the shot clock off the rim, no good, and Irwin with the defensive rebound. Here comes Pad Kalanawan up the court. And Shannon Irwin will drive on Caitlin Kelly. Hang shot, no. Nice aggressive take there from Irwin. And see who they get. They're going to get Caitlin Kelly for her second foul, and Megan Baird quickly triggers off the bench for Coach Richter. Mentioned yesterday, Richter been at DeSales a long time, 19th among active Division III women's basketball coaches for victories, 30th all time. So Irwin misses the first free throw, and first look of the afternoon at a new player who is, there's our broadcasting major, the 5'10 freshman guard from Clearwater, Florida, Madison Rubino.
Could send Dave out to interview her between plays.
Yeah. 2 things throw me there. 1, she's from Florida. 2, she's 5'10 and she's listed as a guard. I think on this team, if you're 5'10, you need to be a forward. And that's where she's playing on defense, so whatever she's listed on the roster. 3 on the way, back iron, no, and there is Rubino for the rebound. 29-22, 4:53 to play here, second quarter. DeSales has led all but a couple of minutes, or all but about a minute in this game. Pad Kalanawan off the screen. Good screen and roll. Cobb shot off the mark. Callahan with the rebound. Baird in front of the pack. And she won't get the shot, but she will draw the contact from Rubino.
Gordon, you see DeSales a lot more often than I do. Is this a type of pace of game that they're comfortable with?
This is what they're comfortable at. A handful of years ago when they were a really strong regional program and repeat returnees to the NCAA tournament. And actually a number of years where they were really good and couldn't get there because Scranton was in their division and Kings had a very good program at that time too. They were very full court press, almost an Arkansas 40 minutes of hell type of thing, but now as time has developed, they become a little more balanced in terms of their roster. And they still want to push it, but this is about the pace they want.
All right. Yeah, because Laverne is definitely pushing them to play at this pace.
Pat Kalanawan for three. No. And battle of underneath the rebound that Nicole Umbenhauer wins. As Callahan has it stripped. Pat Kalanawan with the rebound. She's going 1-on-4. 2-on-4 to her wing and throws it off the foot of the Bulldogs' Jen Napolitano. A little smile there from Pat Kalanawan. Leopards out of the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, or SCIAC for short. Conference that's always a hard conference to get a read on because they play so many of their games against non-Division III opponents. But they have 2 games against George Fox this year, and they nearly won both. Claremont Mudscripts and Cal Lutheran both pushed the undefeated Bruins to the limit, so maybe that bodes well for them because they're probably going to end up playing them in the NCAA tournament in the first round anyway.
Yeah, that's the other reason why it's hard to get a read on the SCIAC.
They don't get off the West Coast because they play the Northwest Conference, which is one of the better ones in Division III every year in the first round.
It's not written that way in the rule book, but basically the way that the tournament is structured in Division III, you almost have to play somebody who's within 500 miles of you, and if there isn't anybody, then you're going to be playing the closest team around, and almost always that's the Northwest Conference champion and maybe a runner-up.
Yeah. Pat Kalanawan.
And maybe a second runner-up.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, the conference has 1 win in the last 10 years, and it was when Chapman was an independent team and they played a SCIAC team.
Yeah.
So Chapman is now in the conference. Shot is off the glass, no good. And rebound controlled. Laverne hasn't scored a field goal in a while here, but Shannon Irwin, good head fake, and she draws the foul on Megan Baird, and Irwin heads back to the free throw line, where she's the team's leading scorer, 84%, or team's leading free throw shooter, 84% from the free throw line. She has a real nice delivery. It's hard to believe that she hasn't made a 3 yet this year. As I say that, that's probably now lodged in her head.
I don't think you said it that loud.
No, okay. Not as loud as my pronouncement of Emily Kirsnowski's injury yesterday.
That was impressive. Well, there's more people in the arena today. DeSales brought a good group, and Laverne, as you mentioned, not that far down the road, so.
Irwin gets 1 of 2 on this, her second trip to the free throw line. She's now 2 of 4 from there, and Leopards hanging around, 29-23.
Yep, but their last made basket was at the 9:36 mark of the second period, so it's been a while.
Napolitano, down low for Umbenhauer. Napolitano trying to work it to Umbenhauer, and off the left knee of Noelle Cobb.
Yeah, loft pass into the post that basically practically hit Cobb in the chest. But I think she was screened out from seeing it until it hit her, and then it went out of bounds.
Berblin for Napolitano is the long 2. That will settle in for Jen Napolitano, and the Bulldogs push the lead back to 8.
Biggest lead of the game.
Pat Kalanawan for Rubino, and I think Anthony Lewis is going to call foul here. Yeah, hand check out along the baseline. And 5th foul of the period here for DeSales, so free throws the rest of the way for the Leopards. Free throw up and no good for Carly Cato, Jr. First free throw attempts of the season. She's only taken 3 shots all year. She's played 7 games. It's all of them. But Cato, one of those many kinesiology majors.
Seems like there should be a D3Hoops.com interview with one of them asking exactly what kinesiology is.
Yeah. And on the other side, DeSales, well known for its education and its nursing program, so there's a fair amount of those majors on that school.
Sounds a very Catholic school, right?
Yes. Yeah.
As a guy who went to a very Catholic school, I can attest to that.
DeSales with the inbounds from underneath their own basket. They also have a pretty good dance program. This is not something you would generally associate with Catholic schools, but a lot of the Eagles cheerleaders, the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders, are former DeSales students.
Huh. Well, Catholics are allowed to dance, so we got that going for us.
That's right.
Unlike at least two of the schools that are here.
Yeah, right? Yeah. 2:17 to play.
I'm pretty sure. Literally, I'm pretty sure there's still no dancing at Bethel. I don't know about George Fox or Mary Hardin Baylor.
Yeah. Jumper on the way. Up and good for Carly Cato. 31-26. Update. Missed that field goal or free throw from her earlier, so she's got 3. Now Bulldogs lead trim to 5. 2 minutes to play. Be a real nice lift here for the Leopards if they can get it even or better at the half. Julie Shaw is kicked to the outside. Bertola, runner on the baseline. Nice touch. First basket of the game for the reserve guard. Irwin for Pat Kalinawan. Rubino getting extended minutes here. Hasn't had the ball passed to her yet, I don't think. Well, there she is on offense. Nice save along the baseline. Rubino will retreat as Pat Kalinawan saved it. Shot clock down to 10. Pat Kalinawan off the screen. Good screen and roll. Shot blocked by McCallion. Somehow finds its way to McCobb, and Cobb's floater from the baseline, no good. Bermlin, 2-on-2. Wisely pulls it out. Working on Cato. Tough shot, no, but guess who? Right there for the easy basket, Morgan McCallion. And the Bulldogs push the lead back to 9. Well, so much for getting even at the half.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have an answer for McCallion. That's all there is to it. When she's on the floor and she's effective, then Laverne is going to be in trouble.
Cobb, little 10-foot jumper, no good. Bartola the rebound. 38 seconds to play. Bulldogs with a chance to push this to double digits. Baseline jumper, got it. And Jen Napolitano, her second basket. The Bulldogs, who are up by 4, now back up by 11 in the span of about a minute.
Laverne needs this break. You see how, I don't know if you can see in the video, but Kalinawan is really tired.
Jumper, no good. Deflected around. Napolitano has it. Bulldogs one last shot. 7 on the game clock. Down to 5. Bertola, no. And McCallion, no. But gets her own rebound and lays it up for 2. And Morgan McCallion caps a tremendous first half with 6 points in the final minute. And the Bulldogs will go to the half in front, 39-26. Pat Coleman will try and get a word with Coach Fred Richter here before they head into the half. And let's go to Pat and Coach Richter.
All right, thanks a lot, Gordon. Coach, they don't seem to have an answer for McCallion right now. When she's on the floor and she's not winded, she's really effective.
Absolutely. What we're trying to take advantage of is their 35 is a pretty good player. She got 2 fouls, and then we really went to Morgan hard.
Gordon and I were talking about the pace of this game. You guys are comfortable at this pace?
This is the pace that we want, okay? We think we can create this pace without pressing. So we only press on dead balls in the end and made foul shots, and that gives us a little more pace, but we're very good at getting the ball off the glass and running it, and that's been very helpful.
Right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Very much. Thank you.
Back to
Well, thanks, Pat. We'll take a break here for, I'll call it about 15 minutes, and we'll come back. First of 6 today. When we come back, we'll get you a preview of the other 2 women's games, including the undefeated George Fox University Bruins back in action in the finale of our women's triple header. This is D3Hoops.com's coverage of the D3 Hoops Classic. Back to the South Point Arena in just a bit. Welcome back inside the South Point Arena. We are not playing in the dark, but we are where it looks like that again, and we'll continue to battle the video demons here, and we'll get you the pictures as soon as we can. But Pat Coleman on his way to see if we can do a quick talk with Julie Shaw of the University of La Verne, who is poring over her statistics. As DeSales with the lead here at the break, and let's go to Mr. Coleman and Coach Shaw.
All right, thanks a lot, Gordon. Coach, first half, you guys really had success when McCullion was off the floor, but when she was on the floor for DeSales, you guys kind of struggled.
Yeah, she's a tough player. We knew we were going to have to work the whole game, so that's what we're going to continue to do, and that's all we can do. So, but we're going to have faith in our team and that they're going to come out hard second half.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks. Back to Gordon.
Thank you, Pat. Coach Shaw, so you mentioned a graduate of UC Riverside. First half statistics, DeSales in front 39-26, and Morgan McCullion is 2 rebounds shy of her 10th. No, that can't be right. 2 rebounds shy of her 5th double-double of the year. So they've only played 10 games, 15th of her career. Her season high is 22 points, and her career high is 31 against Baruch. Special thanks to B.J. Spiegelmeyer, Sports Information Director Extraordinaire back in Center Valley. Is McCullion, well, she could get the 31 here. I don't know that they'll need her to, but she had 19 points, 8 of 13 in the first half, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 12 minutes of action. Balanced scoring for the Leopards, 6 apiece for Emily Myers and Shannon Irwin, 5 points for Faye Osborne. Leading rebounder for the Leopards in that first half was Emily Myers. She had 4. She also had 2 fouls, as Coach Fred Richter mentioned. So she'll get more of a full assortment here in the second half, and we'll give you the call here for the third quarter. And again, we are aware of the video issues. So Bulldogs come out. They have their starting 5 on the floor. So does La Verne, and La Verne will inbound right in front of us. Got Noelle Cobb, Erica Pagkalanawan, Shannon Irwin, Emily Myers, and another player out there. It's Faye Osborne, the 5 on the floor for La Verne. Pagkalanawan hits Noelle Cobb in the shoulder. The ball somehow saved by Irwin, but saves it inbounds to the Bulldogs. Here comes DeSales the other way. They're starting 5 on the floor, high off the glass, no good. It's McCullion. That will get you their 5 when they have the ball again, as here comes the Leopards the other way. Irwin. Hear the crowd mic here. Leopards try and get the ball inside, and Jen Napolitano steps in front of it. Napolitano with a touchdown pass down the floor to Morgan Bermlin. Bermlin, floater, no. And rebound controlled by La Verne. Quick pace, no scoring yet second half. And Shannon Irwin has it taken away. And a foul and a grimace of pain here for Nikki Callahan. And hopefully Callahan's okay. We mentioned the injury issues for the DeSales Bulldogs. They can't really afford to lose another. Looks like a knocking of knees there. Callahan is on her feet. A little shaken up, but seems to be okay. We got Bermlin, Callahan, McCullion, Napolitano, and one change. Instead of Megan Baird on the floor, we've got Katie Miller, who has started a bunch of games this year for the Bulldogs. Bermlin's 3 off the mark, no good. The rebound saved, but saved right into the hands of McCullion, who lays it up for 2. So Myers probably wishes she had that one back. She ended up with an assist to her counterpoint there, Morgan McCullion. Drive in, Cobb fights. Can't get the shot to fall, but bumped and fouled by the incredulous Jen Napolitano. And free throws coming here for Cobb.
You know, Gordon, I know you touched on the halftime stats. One thing I wanted to just kind of pull out after digging into the second quarter, we talked about how much La Verne struggled. They were just 2 for 13 from the floor in the second quarter.
Oof.
And honestly, just 3 for 6 from the foul line, and as you mentioned, 3 for 8 from the line for the half.
Yeah. Free throw 1 of 2 as the Leopards continue to struggle from that spot. Irwin stretches out. playing safety, swats the ball away from Nikki Callahan down the floor. It'll stay DeSales basketball, 41-27, 26, I guess. Can that be right?
I think it is.
Okay.
Oh, nope. There we go.
No.
Live stats say 27.
Okay.
Scoreboard catches up.
Delayed reaction. There it is. Yep. So Callahan set to inbound as Diana Pena will check back in. Katie Miller, as the Bulldogs' Emily Myers matched up with Morgan McCallion. McCallion with 21 points already. And her season high is 22. There's McCallion, and that shot is an air ball, and Pat Kalanawan catches the loose ball. And here comes Laverne back the other way. Irwin collects and gives it to her point guard, Pat Kalanawan. Through the hands of one Leopard, but into the hand of another. And now Pat Kalanawan will reset. Erica dribbling to the right wing, picked up by Callahan. Just inside the wing, driving in Cobb. And outside, Irwin. Inside. Just a shot off just in time, and Callahan collects the rebound. Down the other floor, Callahan pushes, no good. But she will go to the line for two. Good push there for Nikki Callahan. Callahan hits to the free throw line, where she is a 71% free throw shooter, nursing major. She hits the first. Callahan from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Academy of Notre Dame. Obviously a Catholic school in that area.
Seems like a good possibility. Could be Academy of Notre Dame, though.
Yes, if you were more cultured. 43 eventually to 27. That's what the actual score is. Scoreboard will catch up here in a moment. As the shot is off the mark, high off the glass, and jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Bulldogs. Laverne is, now they have what, 2 field goals in the last
13
15
minutes?
plus minutes, I think.
Yeah. It's been a struggle.
41-29, Napolitano breaks the press, slings it over for Miller. Miller wide open to Morgan McCallion for 2. And McCallion, well, her new season high is now 23. That's what she's got, with a long way to go in this one. Pat Kalanawan down low to Pena. McCallion pokes it away. Now she's got a steal to add to the mix. Floating it down the floor, a little too long for Katie Miller. It's out of bounds. Madison Rubino checks back in for the Leopards. Cobb needs somebody to come to the ball. Here comes Rubino. Now she's double teamed, and she's in trouble. Jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Leopards.
Yep, McCallion did a nice job helping with the trap and then reaching in and tying up the basketball.
Pat Kalanawan bringing the ball down the floor. She's got Irwin, Rubino, Faye Osborne, and Noelle Cobb, who's played the entire game, on the floor with her. Irwin spins, zips it off to Pat Kalanawan. Now down low from Rubino, who turned around in her hook shot. Falls about 5 feet short of the rim because it's blocked by McCallion. Callahan, guess who? McCallion, as Rubino actually got a piece of it that time and knocked it away.
I mean, if you're going to try to D-up McCallion in this game, you could throw multiple bodies at her, double team. You could try to deny her the basketball.
I say the problem is that the guards who would front are 5'5" and shorter.
Yeah.
So
I said try.
Yeah, it's not going to take a very high chest pass to get it over their heads. 3 on the way, no good. And the Leopards, they are a short team, but not unusually so for their conference, as that shot is off the mark. And McCallion with points number 24 and 25 and her 10th rebound.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen SCIAC teams here in the past, it's they've been very similar in size. So just because they're a little undersized in this game doesn't mean necessarily that they would struggle with size in their conference.
Timeout taken by Laverne. All Bulldogs. It's DeSales 47, Laverne 27. Welcome back. Good as time as any to tell you our officials tonight. This is Jamal Arguero's crew. He's just to our right. Gary Horkey, who's going to do triple duty today. He's going to do 2 games here and then go to a high school tournament down the road. And Anthony Lewis, the officials, do a very good job. They call the games well, and what we appreciate from a selfish perspective, they keep it moving.
That's right. Necessary when you're playing 6 games in a day.
Yeah. And I've seen some real long women's games this year with the change over to quarters. Maybe they just seem longer, but it has not been the case here. They've kept the pace nicely over the women generally playing first in these tournament games, including the triple header here today. Pat Kalanawan drives in and kicks away. 2 games to follow. This one on the women's side. Carthage will look to end its 6-game skid as they will take on St. Vincent. And then George Fox and Bethel in a battle of 2 NCAA tournament teams from a year ago. First action of the afternoon for Kayla Chisholm, 5'11" sophomore forward. Well, one thing Shaw is doing, remember, this is just her 3rd season. She's getting some size on the roster, and look at the point guard. We talked about the size a number of times, Laverne. So the fact that Chisholm is 5'11", Rubino's 5'10", and they're both underclassmen, that's big. As Chisholm with the long flowing dreads hits the first free throw.
Yeah, I do think it's going to take a recruiting of a different kind of player to break the SCIAC mold and get off the West Coast, so to speak.
Yeah. 47-28. A lot of programs, not Division III, but a lot of programs in that part of the country.
Yep, including a lot of 2-year schools.
Yep. Shot blocked Chisholm with the rebound. 47-28. Just the 5th game of the year for Chisholm. Layup up and good for Irwin. Leopards finding a little bit of spark out of the timeout. They trail 47-30.
That was a nice look. I did not expect her to try to finish the fast break in that way, and it was successful.
Pull-up jumper, Kelly Anthony, no, Chisholm with the rebound. Here come the Leopards the other way again. Irwin eases in, jumper on the way. That's an air ball, partially blocked by Morgan Bermlin.
You can call him Morgan.
Morgan Berman would be her alter ego.
That's what Chris Berman would call her. Not that I would enjoy that.
Do you really want me to do a Chris Berman call?
No, I don't think anybody wants anything of the sort.
Ball kicked around.
Bumbling.
So there you go.
All right.
We're from the same generation. Chisholm with the jumper. No. Rebound controlled by Umbenhauer. McCallion not out there. And here comes back Katie Miller the other way. Well, they're going to let apparently Kelly Anthony do whatever she wants, and she's not even defended, and she'll end up passing the ball out to Katie Miller. Miller off the screen from Anthony, who calls for the ball, but no one on either side is paying attention to her as that shot is off the mark. Anthony was wide open underneath the basket. Rebound by Umbenhauer, and she's fouled. Foul is on Noelle Cobb, I believe. Yeah, her second. So 47-30. Laverne will play St. Vincent tomorrow. It's their unofficial Catholic school part of their schedule. As the free throw is up and good. Timeout taken by Coach Richter. His team up 18. It's 48-30. Welcome back with pictures, 48-30.
Well, now we've got, oh, there we go. For a second, the in-house Jumbotron video was off.
This may be a little selfish, but of the 2 videos, I think ours is more important than the in-video arena, since you can just divert your eyes
to the actual
to
floor.
the actual floor. It's
now
right below it.
Now you can see the actual floor. What you've missed is, DeSales continuing to dominate here in quarter number 3, outscoring the Leopards 9-4, and it's been It's been a bit of a struggle for Laverne, but Coach Shaw put Kayla Chisholm in right before the last break. She has sparked with a couple of rebounds, and maybe a little bit more size will help things out here for the Leopards here in period number 3.
So that's Chisholm down on the block there, number 1 for the Leopards. She turns around and
gets another rebound.
I love it when they get the ball. It makes it much easier to point them out.
3rd rebound in as many trips down the floor.
48-30. Leopards still need some offense to get back in this game. Pad Kalanawan rotates it around. Faye Osborne. Guarded very closely by DeSales, which is an excellent on-ball defense in general. He's played well here today. Irwin. Driving to the baseline. Irwin, no good, but she's bumped and fouled. Morgan Bermlin will pick up the personal foul. Second personal on Bermlin is Brianna Bishop's going to check in here in a second. As the conference for DeSales, we talked about the SCIAC a little bit. The Freedom Conference is more open than thought. FU Florham was the preseason favorite, but the Devils have stumbled out of the gates. They lost 3 games in a row, including one in conference. As that is tipped around and in the hands of Noelle Cobb for 2.
Cobb has 7. She leads the Leopards.
DeSales 3rd in the preseason poll and behind Eastern University and FDU Florham. Bermlin goes bowling ball style into the lane, kicks it out for Kelly for 3. 3rd of the game. First of the second half, she's got 9, and the Bulldogs lead is back to 18. So as hard as Laverne works to close the gap, DeSales gets it all back in one swoop. And a jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Bulldogs. Kings College is in first place in that conference at the moment. DeSales will play 3 more non-conference games against teams in their region, Arcadia, Immaculata, and then they'll get back into conference play on Wednesday, whatever Wednesday, the second Wednesday of January. They'll play Kings College, 2 teams who are 2-0 in the Freedom.
Yep, Freedom should be a lot more interesting this year than it has been in the past couple of years because, as you said, Florham's lost a lot. Eastern lost the player of the century for them as well as their head coach. Yep. So it's a lot more open. Player of the millennium?
Yeah.
Probably player of the millennium.
Megan Nowak, who's All-American at Eastern, led them to the NCAA tournament for the first time last year. As Nicole Umbenhauer heads to the free throw line. Education majors. Not a real good free throw shooter. She misses the first 56% free throw shooter coming into the game. 4 rebounds, 5 points per contest off the bench for the Bulldogs. And Umbenhauer's uniform hits 1 of 2. Here comes Bailey Kurahashi back on the floor. Kurahashi with the ball. Quickly double teamed. Kato, collects the ball. Kato down the floor and off the knee of Brianna Bishop. I think it's safe to say the Leopards have more turnovers than field goals in the last 2 quarters.
I could figure that out for you. So they ended the first period with 3 turnovers. They now have 7 more. And indeed, they have 7 turnovers and 2 field goals in that span.
52-33, all DeSales. Bulldogs just do get it across the with a couple of seconds to spare. And Bermlin's baseline pass is deflected. Morgan McCaullion has come back in. 2:25 to play. McCaullion with 23 or 25 points. A lot.
Live stats froze a few minutes ago. 23 at the last point that we have.
Callahan has it bopped. And traveling violation called. Good defense there from Shannon Irwin. 52-33, 2:19 to play. As I mentioned, after this, it'll be St. Vincent and Carthage, and then Bethel and George Fox.
Yep, 2:19 to go in the third, so we have another whole quarter to go after that, in which Laverne's got to figure out what it can do, and see if it can find a way to put some points on the board, because they have been hard to come by since the first period.
Yeah, they had a little 3-0 spurt, if you could call it that. DeSales erased it with one shot. Shannon Irwin down the floor, tough shot, fouled. And Irwin continues to look aggressively for her points. She's the second leading scorer on the team. Emily Myers has been limited by a combination of foul trouble and Morgan McCauley as a team leader in 14 points per game.
Fourth team foul for DeSales here in this quarter, so it'll be shooting the rest of the way for both teams for the final 2:02 here.
And Irwin hits the first free throw. Business administration minor and a movement and sports science major for Shannon Irwin, who's started all but one game this season for the Leopards. And it's a pair. 52-35, 2 minutes to play. Bulldogs break the press quickly. Got McCauley and Cherry picking down on the other side, but they'll pull it back out for the half-court offense. Good screen from McCauley, and good screen and roll. Shot is no good. Air ball, 15 seconds on the shot clock, which does not reset. Callahan into the paint. Rolls to the floor, kick out for three. Miller, no good, and Brianna Bishop with the defensive rebound. Irwin down the floor, looking very aggressive last few takes down the floor, and I think she's discovered a weakness. The Bulldogs having trouble moving laterally, and Irwin just going to the same move every time.
Well, and also, at some point just kind of taking the team on her shoulders, right?
Yep.
Not a whole lot else is going right. Running the base set offense isn't going right, so if she's got the ball in transition, she's looking to push right here.
Faye Osborne checks in. She'll replace Brianna Bishop as the Leopards go with their small backcourt. 5'7" and 5 foot. Irwin got them both. So 4 straight points from Shannon.
Is that small versus smaller?
Right, exactly.
Extra small?
Katie Miller. Callahan, they've got Kelly open. She's hit 3 threes, but Irwin closes out on that one. Kurahashi, I'm sure Callahan isn't very comfortable. Jumper, Miller, no. And rebound comes out long to Callahan. Minute 5 on the game clock, 27 on the shot clock as it resets. Miller for Callahan. Callahan drives, and she is bumped and fouled by Kurahashi. Bonus time for the Bulldogs. Callahan to the free throw line for the second time this period. Callahan, well, to the extent anyone benefits from an injury on your own team, she was the player who benefited last year in terms of minutes at least. She ended up starting 22 games. The 4 she didn't start were the 4 that Leandra Sterner started before she was hurt. Callahan hits 1 of 2. She led the team in assists. She's a pass first guard. She gets 1 of 2 here.
And of course, we haven't talked much about Sterner today, but she started the day in street clothes, so yeah. That's your indication right there.
Yeah, unfortunate during this tournament, a couple of players that we look forward to watching on the women's and men's side unavailable. I don't know. I mean, this name won't mean anything to the people who are watching this broadcast, but Alden Medunjanin, who's an All-American on the men's side, is got a hurt groin, and I would be surprised if we see him today. He has played very sparingly all year.
Well, the nice thing is
Skidmore
doesn't play today.
We definitely won't see him today. I'd be very surprised if we see him play today, but I'd still be surprised if we see him play tomorrow.
I think he got traded to Wisconsin Stout overnight. For a player to be named later. Yeah, exactly.
53-39. Callahan crashes to the floor, and a traveling violation will be called. And Julie Shaw, who is enthusiastic, applauding the effort of her team there. Again, we mentioned Shaw was a grad assistant at the University of Redlands for a season, assistant coach at Gonzaga, and at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Or Cal Slow. I love that shortened version of their name.
Yeah, they just like to go by Cal Poly now, but we always used to talk about Cal Poly Slow when I was working at the newspapers. Shot,
no good. Irwin, thought she was going to maybe find the bank there. 53-39. The Leopards have whittled this down, and Irwin hits both here after it was 20. And despite the fact that they still haven't scored a field goal in a long time, they'll have got this back within reach somewhat. Promise I'm not trying to put the jinx on her here. She misses the first free throw.
There's no jinx. You're not talking loud enough for her to hear you.
Okay, good. Dave telling me to raise my voice.
Talk louder.
Irwin gets 1 of 2. She's had a very good third period. And the Leopards are within 13. Final 20 seconds of the period, and the Leopards have making it hard for the Bulldogs to get it across half court. Wide open. Kelly for 3. Yes.
Yeah, the problem is once you break that press, it's led to a lot of wide open shots for DeSales here in the third quarter.
4th 3 of the game for Kelly. And tough shot for Osborne. She got it. Count it. And she'll go to the line.
Yep, the quarter can't end on a defensive foul, so.
Yeah.
So she's got it aligned to complete the three-point play.
And this would be big here for the Leopards. It would get it back down to 13, but more than that, it will erase it all by herself. Osborne. Got it.
There you go.
As Osborne with the first 3 points of the game. Picked a good time to get them. Bulldogs lead trimmed to 13. Back with the 4th period in just a bit. Back with the third quarter stats, Mr. Coleman.
All right, so Laverne did score 17 points in that period, but again, the field goals were hard to come by, Gordon. Just 3 of 9 from the floor, 0 for 2 for three-point range, but 11 of 15 from the foul line. DeSales out-rebounded Laverne 12 to 10 in the third quarter. Laverne turned the ball over 7 times compared to 5 for DeSales. DeSales 5 of 16 from the floor, so just 31%, 2 for 5 from downtown and 5 for 8 from the line.
What's Laverne shooting from behind the arc? Have they made one?
For the game, 1 for 8.
Okay, here we go.
And that was all the way back in the first quarter.
56-43, so the Leopards as a whole shoot 28%, so that is not really their game. They need to get it closer here in the early stages of the fourth. Well, here comes a 3 right out of the chute, and take that.
Well, there you go.
Basket up and good, and from Carly Cato for 3.
Lead down to 10.
And number 21, who isn't on our roster. Oh, it's Emily Chan. She changed numbers. So the freshman hits the 3, and then Emily Chan fights for the rebound. And Emily Chan, that's got to feel good. She was 0 for 10 to start the season from behind the arc. So they
18.2% from the floor, I'm guessing, is probably 2 for 22, right?
Yeah. And jumper on the way, and the Leopards have cut this lead down in half. It's now a 10-point advantage. Here comes Chan the other way. First minutes of the game here for the freshman from Alhambra, California. Irwin for Chan, who's listed as 5'7", but isn't.
How tall are you, Gordon?
5'7".
Okay. Okay, so you know what 5'7" looks like.
I do. Chan going to have to get something off here. Crossover move.
Nope.
It's not going to count. Didn't go in anyway.
Yep. One pass too many.
Yeah.
Shot clock was after.
Coach,
the shot was after the shot clock. It did hit the rim, but too late.
Coach Shaw is saying to her, "Listen to me. I was telling you about the time." So 56-46.
You know, that thing where we count down backwards from 10? That's relevant in this case.
That's in reference to this game. Pass down the floor. Bermlin. Bulldogs haven't scored now in a little while. And Katie Miller says, so much for that.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Thank you.
First three in a while for somebody not named Caitlin Kelly. Miller hits her first basket, and the Bulldogs back up by 13. Osborne. Here's Myers, who's been very quiet. McCallion shut her out completely. Chan for three. No. And rebound controlled, and you hear Coach Richter say, let's go, let's go. Callahan underneath the basket needs some help. That outlet pass was too long. And there's a wide open look for three again. Miller, no. And Irwin battling for the rebound down low, unable to control it.
Yeah, Miller had to rush it a little bit that time. Defense was coming out on her, probably put it up a little bit earlier than the normal flow of the game would allow.
Off-balance runner is up and good as Katie Miller now shouldering the offensive load, 61-46. And the Bulldogs quickly back up by 15. Irwin to her favorite move, got it. First field goal in a while for Irwin. She had a good third period, 61-48.
Yep, 16 on the morning for Irwin.
And Morgan Bermlin gonna draw the blocking charge on Shannon Irwin, I believe. Gary Horkey just in front of us, deferring to Jamal Arguero on the call. So Bermlin gets set to inbound in front of us. She just thanked the ref for the call. Did you hear that? She said, thank you.
For the call or for the basketball?
Well, maybe either way. As McCallion misses the shot.
It's much easier to throw it in when you let me have it.
Pat Kalinawan down the floor.
YD3, very polite.
Shannon Irwin rotated around. Look on the baseline. Myers is just completely out of sorts in this game. Averaging 14 points per game. They've been very limited scoring here. Bermlin weaves her way to the rim. Shot no good. Napolitano follow. No. And Myers getting mugged. Is fouled by Kelly Anthony.
Well, remember what Coach Richter said at halftime, right? They knew full well Myers was the best player on this team. She's drawn a lot of focus from them today, and it's made it really difficult for her to operate.
Nicole Umbenhauer and Caitlin Kelly back into the game. Here comes Carly Cato for the Leopards. 61-48. So Pat Kalinawan, Osborne, Myers, Cato, and one other player out there for the Chan out there for the Leopards. Shot from Myers, no good. Umbenhauer grabs it. She is fouled. Let's see who they get. Second foul of the period on the Leopards. It is on Myers. Third foul, but first of the second half. And here comes Kayla Chisholm back into the game. This will be one of the rare moments where the Leopards have a size advantage down low.
That's true. Quick lineup on the floor right now for DeSales, though.
Three on the way. Kelly got it. Fifth three of the game. And it's 64-48.
5 for 7 from downtown for Kelly.
Bad Kalinawan for Chisholm. Faces up. Irwin. No. And Umbenhauer tips the rebound right to Faye Osborne, who will wrestle for the ball. Bodies all over the floor. It will go to the Bulldogs via the possession arrow. DeSales, who was 1-1 their first trip here to the D3 Hoops Classic a handful of years ago, with a loss to Amherst and a win over WPI. Trying to make it a perfect second trip.
That was not our best set of women's matchups.
Yeah, that was a tough field.
Amherst, there was just nobody who could hang with Amherst that year.
Yeah.
What was the Amherst WPI game? It was like 105-39 or something.
Yeah, and the other option, that was the year Eureka was here, and yeah, that was a rough year on the women's side. 64-48. Callahan, yeah, 40-0 run in that game.
Yeah, that doesn't benefit anybody. We have a nice balance this year. I like the group. And we got a preliminary list of teams that are coming out next year. Puget Sound, PLU, Wisconsin Eau Claire have all committed on the women's side. Dubuque and Co. and Stevens have all given a verbal agreement, so that'll be interesting. And then, if some of these other teams that have expressed interest show up, like DePaul or Montclair State or Emmanuel, could have a really good tournament.
Those are 3 teams that are perennially in the tournament. And DePaul and Montclair State that are very much upper tier. Drive in, Callahan loses it off her knee.
If you're interested in playing in the D3Hoops.com Classic, drop us an email. You can email me at pat.coleman@d3sports.com, and I'll get you hooked up. Or you can contact the folks at Sport Tours International. Brett Seymour is our point person on that sort of thing. They handle all the logistics and all the important stuff that happens here, and then we show up and broadcast games.
Right. We show up and take credit for it. 5:02 to play. They
get
get the money and we get the credit.
Yeah.
It's a match made in heaven as Coach Julie Shaw takes the timeout. Under 5 minutes to play here. DeSales comfortably in front. Bulldogs by 14. $64 to 50, the Leopards to inbound. Brianna Bishop just in front of our broadcast vantage point. Pat Kalanawan, Diane Pena, Shannon Irwin, and Carly Cato, the 5 on the floor. Bishop drives in. Layup off the glass, no good. Follow, also no good. And here comes Morgan Bermlin back the other way. Jumper, no. Rebound, batted around, and Cato with the rebound.
Yeah, it's not quite time for Laverne to start focusing on tomorrow. They play St. Vincent coming up tomorrow. They've got a chance to still work into this quickly if they can get some shots to fall and get some stops. But time's ticking here, down by 14 with 4:17 to go.
Yeah, DeSales hasn't shot real well here to second half, but all their made baskets have been threes. It seems that way at least. 64 to 50. And Richter says settle. He's just going to squeeze the clock here now. Are the Bulldogs? Richter assisted by Taylor Green, who graduated not too long ago, and Amy Yencho, who's a real good player for the Bulldogs and a longtime assistant in one of those YD3 stories I mentioned yesterday. She's a biologist in the Lehigh Valley area. 3 on the way. Oh, my.
Wow.
Jen Napolitano from deep.
With the shot clock expiring with the ball in the air, that's a clutch shot.
Yeah, that is ball game. Very likely it's 17-point advantage now for DeSales. Napolitano, incidentally, is a minor in biology. All comes full circle. Tiny circles, but full circle. Irwin with the jumper. No good. Umbenhauer with the rebound.
If it was microbiology, it would be really tiny circles.
That's right. Well done. Miller to our bio minor, and she has her shot blocked by Carly Cato. And saved. Here comes Pat Kalanawan back the other way. Laverne, pull-up, jumper. No. Irwin all alone for the rebound. Stripped by Napolitano. And Pat Kalanawan picking the pocket, but poking the chest. And that's a foul.
Chest poking is it's a 5-yard penalty, is that right?
I think so. Coach Richter takes a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here.
No, coming up next, St. Vincent versus Carthage, scheduled for a noon Pacific time tip-off. 3 p.m. for the St. Vincent folks back in the Eastern time zone, 2 p.m. for the Carthage teams out in the Central. And then George Fox versus Bethel will be our third women's game, our third of the 6 today. And then following up, We switch over to men's action. St. Vincent takes on Ramapo. Each of those teams that won their first game here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. Then Pacific Lutheran will take the floor versus Wisconsin Stout. That is at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And then finally, Whitworth and Calvin. Whitworth, who's been here for about 19 hours, and Calvin, who's been here since at least Sunday, I think, or Monday. They will take the floor for our final game of the day, which is at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and that should be a doozy.
Yeah, we saw Coach Mike Meek from George Fox. We crossed paths with him as we were leaving the arena yesterday. And he was somewhat disappointed to find out that Calvin Whitworth game was not last night, as he was looking for some more basketball late at night to watch.
Yeah. We could have probably figured out one more game for him.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything else while they're here in Vegas. It's all basketball all the time.
Yeah, George Fox, very much a down-to-business organization, as they were a program. They national runners-up last year, 67 and 50, again highly ranked this year. That free throw off the mark for Napolitano. Third ranked. George Fox in behind Amherst, who won yesterday. And Thomas More, who's they play this week. Yeah, their next game might even be today against Illinois Wesleyan. It's their final non-conference game.
Where's that game at?
At IWU, at Shirk in Bloomington, Illinois. As there is a foul. 67 to 50, Napolitano back to the free throw. And that will do it for Emily Myers, who will have better days than she did today. Struggled with foul trouble and just never really got into the flow of things. The senior has fouled out.
Yeah, tough challenge, but she probably will not face defenses as focused on her. Well, they'll be focused on her, but not with the size and the build down low that DeSales was able to throw at her today.
Free throw up for Napolitano, who has come alive here in this fourth quarter. Bulldogs lead is swelled to 19. That Kellanawan drives inside. Tough shot blocked by McCallion. Put back no for Kato. Rebound comes out long. Noel Cobb gets it, and then stolen back immediately by Katie Miller. Miller, nifty dribbling, and she'll pull it out. Baseline look for Bermlin, but Coach Richter says, pull it back. Shot clock at 16, game clock at 1:47. McCallion gonna draw the blocking foul as Irwin was deep underneath the basket. Oh, they're gonna call McCallion for it, never mind. It's McCallion's first personal, incidentally. Laverne rolls the ball down the floor to conserve some time.
Yep, got to practice those things anyway. Someday you might need it. Maybe not in a 19-point game.
Brandon Bishop. Shot off the mark. It's Caitlin Kelly, who's had a good game here. 5 threes for Kelly. Bulldogs guards, even with Sterner and Piersnowski out, have acquitted themselves very, very well here in 2 days. Bermlin yesterday, Kelly and Napolitano is kind of a wing player. But Katie Miller today. Pull up from Napolitano with the shot clock expiring, no good. Brianna Bishop with the rebound. 60 seconds to play. Kato for 3. Nope. And rebound long to Napolitano as Katie Miller will run some clock. A lot of starters still on the floor for both teams. 19-point game. Looks like it will finish that way. No reserves at the scorer's table for the final 40 seconds. So DeSales will be mission accomplished. They'll go home 6-4. They got 2 wins, back above 500. Remember, 3 of their 4 losses are to teams receiving votes who are in the top 25, Scranton, Muhlenberg, and Moravian. Bermlin, outside look down low, shot no good. 4th loss was to Stevens Tech, who was in the tournament a couple years ago, so they're also a solid program. As McCallion with a steal. I was hoping she would run the floor.
I was just looking at all tournament possibilities, though. McCallion, 9 points yesterday on 3 of 7 shooting, 25 today, so that's 34 points in 2 games. Remember, it was Bermlin who had the big game against
19 yesterday.
Millsaps, 8 of 15, but today just 2 of 14 from the floor and 4 points, so I think I would favor McCallion.
Yep, that sounds about right, and so does the final score for the DeSales fans. Bulldogs, winners. Final score, DeSales 60, Laverne, or 69, excuse me, Laverne 50. So with the victory, DeSales improves to 6-4. They head home for a couple more games before finishing things off in conference play in about a week and a half. Their next game will be at Arcadia next Monday. Laverne, their next game, right back here tomorrow as the Leopards will play St. Vincent College. Laverne, with the loss, drops to 2-6. Stats of note, Pat?
Well, we'll start on the Laverne side of the ledger, where Shannon Irwin led the way with 16 points, 4 of 10 from the floor, 8 for 12 from the foul line. Noel Cobb with 8, Osborne with 9, Osborne with 8, Myers with 6, Chan with 3, Cato with 3, Peg Kalanawan with 2, Kurahashi with 2, Chisholm with 1. For the total of 50. Flipping over to the DeSales side, of course, I mentioned already the great day that Morgan McCallion had. She was 11 of 19 from the floor for 25 points, game-high 13 rebounds for a double-double. Then it was Caitlin Kelly with 15. Napolitano had 9, 5 for Miller. Bermlin and Umbahauer with 4 apiece. Callahan with 3, Bertola with 2, and Anthony with 2. The totals... DeSales shot 26 of 69 from the floor, 38%, 7 of 18 from downtown, 39%, and 10 of 18 from the foul line, 56%. Laverne, just 17 of 52 from the floor, 33%, 2 for 10 from beyond the arc, you can do the math, and 14 of 23 from the line at 61%. Laverne turned the ball over 18 times compared to 12 for DeSales, and DeSales with a big rebounding advantage too, Gordon, 48 to 38.
So that'll do it for us. Game 1 of 6 in the books. Thanks to everyone for making today's broadcast possible. Special thanks to BJ Spiegelmeyer for feeding us some notes from the DeSales side, and thanks to the crew here at the South Point Arena. If these were your 2 teams and you're not planning to follow any more basketball today, we ask that you reconsider to tune us back in, and if not, on the Laverne side, we'll be back for more Leopards basketball tomorrow afternoon. For now, we will close things out, and we'll get you ready for game number 2 coming up. You can see the St. Vincent Bearcats in their tie-dye shirts on the floor. They'll take on the more traditionally clad Carthage College Lady Reds. It'll be Carthage in St. Vincent in just a bit. Back with the second game in about 20 minutes.